Today, celebrities can spend a fortune trying not to look old. But 2,000 years ago, Romans could already buy someone else's hair. Gray hair could be dyed. Thin hair could be covered. A face could be painted to look smoother, brighter, and younger. Even Julius Caesar reportedly combed his remaining hair forward and loved the right to wear a laurel wreath whenever he wanted. So, how far would an ancient person go to hide their age? For this video, we are going to ancient Rome, because Roman writers left us something unusually personal. They wrote about hair falling out. They wrote about wigs that fooled everyone. They mocked wrinkles, gray hair, and bald emperors. They also carved old men with extra wrinkles, because sometimes looking old was exactly the point. That contradiction tells us far more than a list of ancient beauty products ever could. Imagine that you live in Rome around the 1st century at dawn morning. You look into a polished metal mirror. It does not give you the clean reflection of modern glass, but it shows enough. There is a pale hair near your temple. Then another. Your hairline seems farther back than it was last year. The skin around your eyes keeps a few lines even after you stop smiling. None of this is dangerous, but other people can see it. And Rome is a society in which appearance carries information. Your clothes can suggest wealth. Pale skin can suggest that you do not labor all day under the sun. A hairstyle can announce fashion, respectability, or status. Your face can make people think you are youthful, experienced, tired, attractive, severe, or ridiculous before you have said a word. The Roman poet Ovid understood that fear very well. In the 3rd book of The Art of Love, he reminds women that years flow away like water. He describes skin loosening into wrinkles and hair turning white. Then he offers advice on clothing, color, cosmetics, and hair. This was not a kind old man helping Roman women feel confident. Ovid was writing a clever, provocative poem for an audience that enjoyed jokes, seduction, and social observation. His warnings tell us what a male Roman writer thought women feared. They do not tell us exactly what every Roman woman felt, but one detail is difficult to miss. Ovid says a woman can appear with thick hair that she purchased, making someone else's hair her own with money. The ancient hair extension had arrived. False hair was not just a poetic invention. Wigs and hairpieces are among the best, attested forms of bodily prosthesis in the Greek and Roman world. Ancient texts mention them repeatedly, and surviving images show elaborate hairstyles that could be supported or enlarged with added hair. For a wealthy Roman woman, hair could be arranged into curls, braids, towers, loops, or carefully controlled waves. A hairpiece could add volume where age, illness, or damage had removed it. It could also create a fashionable shape that natural hair could not hold alone. The effect depended on whether anyone noticed. Roman poets loved pretending that they had noticed. They joked about hair that came from someone else's head. They mocked a wig that slipped, a dye that looked wrong, or a woman whose appearance changed when the accessories came off. The joke only works because the disguise sometimes worked. If you wanted to keep your own hair, you could change its color. Roman sources mention hair being darkened and lightened. Gray hair could be dyed. Imported blonde hair became fashionable in some periods, and preparations were used to create colors that nature had not supplied. The result was not always gentle. Ancient cosmetic recipes could involve strong minerals, plant mixtures, fats, ash, and other substances prepared without modern testing. We should be careful here. A Roman recipe recorded in a medical or literary text does not prove that every household used it. It does show that people were willing to experiment with the body when appearance mattered, and women were not alone. Julius Caesar was one of the most powerful men Rome ever produced. According to the biographer Suetonius, baldness troubled him greatly because his enemies joked about it. Caesar combed his scant hair forward from the crown of his head. Among all the honors given to him, Suetonius says, Caesar especially valued the privilege of wearing a laurel wreath at all times. The wreath meant victory. It also covered the top of his head. This is a wonderfully Roman solution. Turn a personal insecurity into an official symbol of glory. Caesar was not the only ruler fighting his hairline. The Emperor Otho reportedly wore a wig so carefully made and fitted that nobody suspected it. He also removed body hair and shaved closely. Suetonius presents these habits as part of a larger portrait of a man unusually attentive to his appearance. Then there was Domitian. Domitian became so sensitive about baldness that, according to Suetonius, he took it as a personal insult when someone else was mocked for being bald. He even wrote a work called On the Care of the Hair. An emperor could order executions. He still could not order his hair to stay. These stories are funny because the men are powerful. They also reveal the social danger of appearance. A political enemy did not need to defeat Caesar in battle to make him uncomfortable. A joke about his head could do it for a moment. But now the story becomes strange. Walk through a collection of Roman portraits, and you will find men who appear to have requested the opposite treatment. During the Roman Republic, elite male portraits often emphasized wrinkles, thinning hair, deep lines, and stern expressions. A modern photographer might remove those details. A Roman sculptor could sharpen them. The face was sending a political message. Wrinkles could suggest years of public service. A severe expression could suggest responsibility. Thin hair and a tired face could make a man look experienced, disciplined, and devoted to the state. An ambitious Roman might hide his bald spot in daily life, then commission a marble portrait that made him look older and more severe. There was no single Roman attitude toward age. The useful face depended on who you were and what you wanted from the person looking at you. For someone being judged for beauty, visible age could be a disadvantage. For a senator, presenting himself as a guardian of Roman tradition, age could look like evidence of wisdom. Then Augustus changed the image again. Augustus ruled for more than 40 years, but his official portraits remained remarkably young. His face in marble did not age with the man. The smooth skin, controlled hair, and idealized features connected him to strength, order, and a carefully designed ruling family. Rome had discovered political retouching without a camera. This helps answer our original question. Ancient people did try to hide signs of age. Some Romans dyed gray hair, bought hairpieces, wore wigs, painted their faces, and arranged their remaining hair with great care. But age itself was not always the enemy. What mattered was the meaning attached to it. A wrinkle on a woman's face could become a cruel joke in a male poet's verse. The same wrinkle on a statesman's marble head could become proof of wisdom and sacrifice. A bald emperor could feel humiliated in person, while a bald philosopher looked dignified in stone. We also need to remember whose lives survive in the evidence. Most Romans never commissioned a marble portrait. Most did not leave poems describing their morning routine. The people who appear most clearly are emperors, wealthy families, and the writers who mocked them. An expensive imported wig tells us little about what a poor laborer did when his hair turned gray. He may have done nothing. She may have used a cheap local preparation. They may have cared deeply and lacked the money to change anything. The silence does not mean ordinary Romans had no anxiety about aging. It means anxiety leaves better evidence when somebody can afford a product, a poem, or a portrait. So, did ancient people try to hide their age? Some Romans certainly did. They could change the color of their hair, add hair that was not theirs, cover a bald crown, brighten a face, or ask an artist to preserve a younger version of themselves. Others deliberately displayed age because age could command respect. They could not stop time, but they were already doing something very familiar. They were deciding which version of themselves the world was allowed to see.